There is a tendency, though, and the reason why I say 3 years before retirement, there is a tendency for a lot of people to wait and
Yes.
procrastinate. It would be fabulous to get the new recruits in while they're 18, 20, in their 20s, and just start stacking away a little bit. Discipline in finances goes a long way, especially with compound interest.
Welcome to Be Bold Branding, where we discuss the power of differentiating yourself through your own unique story and standout personal brand. If you've ever lived with financial frustration, this episode is for you. One of the most crippling barriers to growth is our mindset when it comes to money. Today's guest knows a lot about that from a professional and a personal perspective, and has made it her mission to remedy the problem. Maria Deibert is a retired Navy senior chief with over 30 years of military service, earning medals in Commendation, Achievement, Volunteer Service, Conduct, and more. Upon her retirement, she realized that most veterans transitioning back to civilian life are not prepared for long-lasting financial security. That's when she made it her mission to honor her fellow veterans by providing money mastery solutions so they can chart a course toward a worry-free financial future. And by the way, Maria is also a BrandFace client. Let's dig in and learn about her money mastery solutions and how she feels about her BrandFace journey.
Maria, welcome to Be Bold Branding.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Tanya. Thanks for having me.
Well, first off, thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing. Yes, ma'am. Let's start with the next thing, though. Tell us a little bit about you. Like, how did you grow up and what attracted you to join the Navy and then to make a career out of the Navy and then lead you to helping others that will be transitioning from military to civil service?
I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, Midwestern type gal, and had two loving parents. I'm one of four children, second oldest. Grew up a huge Cincinnati Bengals fan, and Cincinnati Reds. Worked at the stadium for both the Bengals and the Reds. I had a great upbringing. Went to high school, and then after high school, I started getting some jobs, but they didn't really light my fire. So I was looking for adventure, and the tagline for the Navy at the time was, "It's not just a job, it's an adventure." And I was like, yes, that's what I want. Yes. So I found out that my father had actually served during the Korean War, and he was in the Navy. So I was daddy's little girl. We tossed the football together, and whatever dad did, I thought, well, if he did it, I can do it. Why not? So my parents really didn't know too much about scholarships or applying for college. My father worked at Sears. My mother worked at Western Southern Life Insurance Company in the mailroom. They were hard, salt of the earth type people. And I was like, okay, the Navy offers an adventure, and they also offer money for college. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. I was blessed to be physically fit and mentally capable. And I was like, sign me up. Let's do this.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it. Well, what I love is, hey, this is branding and marketing. I mean, the Navy's got it going on, right? It's like adventure. You were their ideal customer and they got you. They really attracted you. But it sounds like it was perfect. Like you spent, like as Michael said, what was it that that caused you to turn this into a career? What was it that was really kind of aligning with you once you got into the Navy?
It was the actual fact that you service. I wanted to serve, but I really wasn't sure in what capacity. I wanted to serve people, and I had some fabulous mentors, and they showed me the way. I was on active duty for 11 and a half and had a break in service. And then I was like, I can't quit after 11 and a half. So I joined the reserves for 18 and a half. And I was a, civilian, but I was serving the Navy too. And I had fabulous mentors. It was exciting being a leader. It was exciting. The adventure part, I was just waiting for my next set of orders. Okay, where's the Navy going to take me?
Mm-hmm.
And where did the Navy take you throughout those years?
First of all, we had boot camp in Orlando. That has since been closed, but now boot camp is in Great Lakes. Then I went to Meridian, Mississippi, my A school. I was a personnel specialist. Basically the HR for the enlisted people. And then 2 weeks leave back in Cincinnati, Ohio, kissed the mom and dad, and then 2 years in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Wow.
Wow. What an experience. And no doubt was that adventure you were seeking for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I learned how to scuba dive. It was 85 degrees there year round. And at the time, there were no prisoners in Guantanamo Bay. There weren't any Haitian refugees. It was a very quiet time from 1983 to 1985.
So you didn't run into Jack Nicholson in there? I eat breakfast 200 yards away from 300. You didn't run into I had to throw that in.
No, but I ran into some really cute sailors.
That's great.
That might be worth going into the Navy alone, right?
I married one, yeah.
That's awesome.
That was definitely worth it then. That's great. Well, I know when you were coming out, you were talking to us when you first came into the BrandFace program. We were on edge listening to your story, and you were talking about the fact that military service members were coming out and transitioning to civilian life, but they weren't really prepared for long-term financial security.
Yeah. So, helping with those options. Do you also do, tell us a little bit about that? Like you do workshops and tell us how that program looks.
The two that are specialized are, my company name is Squid Financial, a nod to my Navy career and my fellow sailors. We affectionately call one another squids. So Squid Financial, and that's a division of Five Rings Financial out of Colorado. And we specialize in Wine, Women, and Wealth workshop. And that's a trademarked workshop. And also Money 101, which is the basics of the beginnings of understanding compound interest and some basics. Mm-hmm. So there were some concepts in the Money 101 workshop and the Wine, Women, and Wealth that attracted me to start this career as my Act 3, if you will.
Oh,
I like it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when a service member is about to retire, at what point do you think they should contact you to start making these preparations to make sure they're more financially solid?
Well, I think a 3-year prior to retirement is a good heads up. 2 years, it's getting down to crunch time, and there's a lot of things on a sailor or veteran's mind, which is they may have to move their family. Are they going to have to work? Did they save enough in order to truly retire, or what do they want to do with their life type thing? So I think 3 years is a good basis for, okay, this is what I have and this is what I need going forward. Maybe they could catch up in those 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's the first thing you do with your clients to prepare them for that financial journey?
We start with a budget. just actually getting it down on paper, what they're actually spending, their income, their expenses,
Mhm.
their projected expenses as children get older, as parents get older. We talk about those types of things.
Like what you're hearing? Hit that subscribe button and learn how you can change how you're seen and charge what you're worth.
And
That's good.
and who are you best suited to serve, Maria? Give us a little snapshot of that ideal customer for you.
My ideal customer is somebody who's open-minded. Um, I do I do connect with women. I do connect with I would say somebody who is ready to go deep in the way of, okay, we're planning your life. You can't hold back. If you hold back information for me, you might be losing out on tips or examples, or maybe I have a referral partner I could steer you towards. But I'm looking for somebody who's open and willing to learn.
Mm-hmm. And you really, I mean, honestly, you can't start too soon, right? I tell all the young people I know, like, you got the greatest asset ever, time, right? And the faster you get saving and planning now, the better off you're going to be all the time in the future. I can't remember now who told me this, but I'd tell it my nephews all the time, and now it's stuck with them, right? Take care of your money, and your money will take care of you. And so even I would think even young service people would be an ideal client for you too. So you can prepare them. Hey, this is the journey. Even if you stay in, this could be the journey. Yeah,
Absolutely. There is a tendency, though, and the reason why I say 3 years before retirement, there is a tendency for a lot of people to wait and
yes,
procrastinate. It would be fabulous to get the new recruits in while they're 18, 20, in their 20s, and just start stacking away a little bit. Discipline in finances goes a long way, especially with compound interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it sure does. And I can see the benefits of that, because I wish I'd done that at 18, 19 years old, right? And I'm not even in the military, but it also bodes well for the fact that you've been through the experience
Mm-hmm.
of coming out of the military and seeing a lot of those things as you were going through these, financial things yourself, and the workshops and the Wine, Women, and Wealth and so forth, and seeing those things and realizing, oh my gosh, we weren't as prepared maybe as we thought we were. So somebody that can lean into your expertise as someone who's gone through it's going to be very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And I also speak the lingo of a veteran
Mm-hmm.
because I know what benefits they have.
Yep.
Exactly.
And I can relate to, okay, you weren't taught this in boot camp. You weren't taught this during your duty stations. You probably weren't taught it in high school either. So I have that background knowledge, and I can speak squid. I can speak veterans. So that helps because
I'm sure.
I know what their TSP is. I know what their SGLI is.
Yes. We don't.
Exactly.
And that's why they need you.
Exactly why they need you. So I want to segue now, Maria. We for the audience, we had the great honor of helping Maria build her personal brand as she was making this transition and starting this business to help other veterans like herself. So why did you decide to come into the BrandFace program, Maria?
It was in order to be seen. So I knew that was my personal challenge. 30 years of military service. I couldn't tell people what I did or where I was. Had to make sure that the GPS on my photos was not activated. We served and we did what we needed to do, but it's a total 180 from military life into the civilian life. You need to be seen in order for people to know what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Nobody else thinks about it like that, right?
Right.
Because when you first said to us, I want to be seen, I thought, okay, you just need more awareness and exposure. It's like, no, I want to be seen for the very first time. Like I'm allowed to be seen now. Now I have to craft what that looks like and what that sounds like. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
Did you have any concerns coming into the program?
I guess it was the accountability and post this to social media 5 times a week. And I was like, no, not yet. I'm not ready for that yet. No. But that was my concern. I knew Tanya would treat me with kid gloves.
Well, and that's a concern for a lot of people as they're coming into this. And it's not from the standpoint of technically, I don't know how to open up my phone or my computer and post something. It's like, I'm not really sure what to say and what to put out there that's going to be, that's going to have clarity, that is going to be consistent, that's going to attract the people I'm trying to attract. And a lot of people just put a lot of stuff out there on social media, but you already knew, no, I can't just put stuff out there. I need this to be meaningful stuff. So that's why it was so easy to work with you, Maria. What was the hardest part for you to going through this program?
It was the content, but it was actually, through photos and through, I guess it was the photo part that, okay, should I really look corporate? Should I look like I'm adventuresome? Which part of me am I going to show the rest of the world? As you can tell, I like the color blue. So that's a nod to the Navy, and yellow and gold. But I think it was the photos.
Yeah, that is a tough part for everybody because you're not really sure. First of all, most people don't like having their photos taken, right? I know I don't. It's become sort of fun throughout the years, but at first I would dread it like nothing else. Just nervous about it. But as you kind of get used to it and you think, okay, I see how those are going to be used now, you get more comfortable with that process and knowing how to do it. I think when you craft that story and that message of the brand, that really does set you up in a way where it's like, okay, now it's a story. Now it helps me feel a little bit more comfortable about what I want to portray in the way that I look. And I think yours was just spot on, right in the middle, not too corporate-y, but not too leisure. Right. It was really somewhere right in that middle so that no matter where they were coming from, they could identify with you and feel like we wanted to highlight your knowledge and experience more than anything else. And I think that really, really worked for you.
What was the most eye-opening thing that you experienced?
It was the feedback that I got from my input from a different perspective. It was your perspective being the professional in the field and the things that I said, okay, what is she going to get out of my input? So I appreciated that.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Coming from, it does take those two sides. It's like two sides of a coin, because a lot of times we see ourselves one way, but we don't see all these star qualities on the other side of the coin. And especially somebody who's been in a career where it's so buttoned up, where you can't share all these things, all the things you've accomplished, but you really haven't been allowed to talk about them very much or even where you are. So this is a totally different world for you. So I'm glad that you recognize that. How has your brand helped you already, Maria?
Just by, the feedback again. The feedback from other people. So that was one thing. My feedback while I had my Navy career was always interpersonal. It wasn't through social media. So once I posted my new brand banner on LinkedIn or on Facebook, the comments that were coming back was like, that is so you. And oh, I love your tagline. She nailed it. So, Tanya, you nailed it. Just the feedback from other people, it was so encouraging. I was like, she did. She nailed it. She she's telling my story, and it's working. The just the feedback and the responses that I'm getting, I'm connecting more, so it's great.
That's wonderful.
That's really good, and that'll just build and build and
Yeah.
build. What would you say to others who are considering becoming a brand face?
Don't hesitate. I mean, don't hurt your brain, because that feedback is a treasure. It's you can't put a price on it. I mean, it's an investment in yourself and your future. It's an investment in your mission. I knew I had to invest in my mission. People had to know about my mission. It was an investment, and it's a tax write-off.
Easy breezy.
See, even better. Even better.
That's right. Says the financial consultant.
Exactly.
Right?
Take it from the financial guru.
So Maria, tell the audience how they can get in touch with you, especially veterans, military families, most especially 3 years before you're planning on retiring. Anywhere from that point forward or way before that, just call her, right? So tell us, Maria, how can they find you?
You can find me. I have a website. It is Maria, Maria Deibert, Deibert, all squished together, mylivingbenefits.com.
Got it. We'll put that in the show notes too.
Yep.
Okay, super. Yeah, and I do believe my email address is on the website, and also my phone number.
Excellent.
Perfect. Yeah, you can't hide now. You're out there.
It's out.
It's out now. Maria, thank you so much. What an honor, what a blessing to be able to work with you through this. We've gotten to know you and love you, and we appreciate you so much. And thank you once again for your 30 exemplary years of service.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Michael and Tanya. Tanya, it's been a blessing. It's been great. Thank you.
Ready to change how you're seen and charge what you're worth? If you're not getting enough opportunities to meet with ideal customers, or the prospects you're meeting with just aren't ideal, it's most likely your brand that's holding you back. So if you're a coach, consultant, or expert who is on the rise, you need our ultimate guide to a freedom-based brand. Download it free now at BrandFaceGuide.com.